Alara Wynne stood at the crowded terminal, staring at a piece of baggage she had never seen before. She owned only one luggage set, yet here was a second suitcase that looked identical to hers. Same scratches, same faded sticker of an atlas showing ancient trade routes. Security insisted it was her carry-on, found abandoned near the curb outside the station. But Alara had never left the building. Something was wrong. Inside the case was a folded itinerary, but not for any normal journey. It described a passage through coordinates that didn't exist on Earth's maps. A place simply labeled the Vanishing Harbour. She boarded the late-night express vehicle, an old magnetic tram modified with off-book technology. The conductor, an elderly man with a shaking wheel tattoo on his hand, checked her fare without asking questions. "Alara Wynne," he said softly. "You're not supposed to be here yet." The remark chilled her. The tram slid onto an abandoned lane, then shifted into a private avenue leading beneath the city. The floor vibrated as the machine accelerated with impossible horsepower, far beyond legal limits for any public auto. Ahead, a glowing signpost flickered the words, "Route 77, end of map." The pavement disappeared beneath them as the tram broke through a hidden metallic rack, revealing a tunnel paved with light itself. Alara gripped the seat as the tram crossed an intersection of floating tracks. "Where does this path lead?" she asked. "To the harbor," the conductor whispered. "To the place where things vanish." At the terminal below reality, an unusual crew waited. A steward, a stewardess, and a silent medic in an ambulance white uniform all greeted her with eerie calm. Behind them stood a massive freighter, a starship disguised as a shipping truck on the outside, glowing like a star within. Its hull carried scars from impacts, wrecks, and half-melted dents from near crashes. "This ship shouldn't exist," Alara murmured. "It doesn't," the steward answered. "Not in your world." A row of vehicles, and lorry, van, wagon, tractor, even a dusty pedicab and several abandoned carts, sat arranged like offerings, each bearing signs of a past accident. "Are these from our world?" Alara asked. "Some," the stewardess replied. "Some are from versions of your world." The word versions echoed like a hazard alarm. The ship launched smoothly, its engines humming like a giant motor. Outside, space folded into shapes that resembled cycles of light, endless loops spinning like cosmic wheels. "What is the harbor?" Alara whispered. "A collection point for everything that disappears from your reality," the stewardess said. "A place where lost vehicles, lost objects, and sometimes lost people appear instead of being destroyed." "What about things that disappear entirely?" "They're here," the steward replied. "Everything that vanishes goes somewhere." A floating cluster of derelict star carriages drifted past. Some were crushed as if by enormous pressure. Others looked frozen mid-crash, as though time itself had hit the brake. Something sparkled, like shattered glass drifting across the void. "What is that?" Alara asked. "Compressed realities," the medic answered. "Fragments left when two timelines crushed together." Just as the ship approached the harbor's central ring, a shimmering harbor-shaped structure shaped like a cosmic port, a siren blared. "Emergency!" the steward shouted. A spiraling hazardous field erupted ahead, glowing sickly green. "It's recycling itself," the medic warned. "Reality is starting to recycle. If we get caught in it, our timeline will fold into another." Alara felt the ship dash sideways as the pilot fought to avoid the gravitational spin. A distorted cycle of debris, Tires, scrap metal, broken brakes looped around them. "Hold on!" the stewardess yelled. The ship clipped the edge of the vortex. The hull screamed. Screens showed their horsepower dropping. Meteor-like chunks of old garages and twisted motors spiraled past. "We're slipping!" the conductor yelled. "If we enter the vortex, we'll be rewritten!" "Rewritten into what?" Alara demanded. "Whatever version of us the vortex decides to keep." In the chaos, Alara's abandoned suitcase slid across the cabin and burst open. A holographic projector activated, casting a map across the ceiling. The atlas-like display showed branching routes, each representing different universes. One was blinking red. "That's my world!" Alara gasped. "It's collapsing!" The medic nodded grimly. "Your reality is merging with another. Unless we realign your route, everything on your Earth will vanish." So the suitcase was a warning? No. The steward looked at her with strange sympathy. It was a request. A request from who? From the version of you who already vanished. The vortex expanded, pulling them into its spinning jaws. Panels burst. Loose tires and metal crates slammed into the walls like stray asteroids. The ship's brakes failed. The freighter began to spin. Endless rotations like a broken cosmic cycle. "We need to counter the collapse!" the stewardess yelled. "Use the tractor beam!" The tractor beam malfunctioned. Sparks exploded. Then Alara saw it, her other self. Through the hologram, a woman who looked exactly like her appeared, standing beside an identical suitcase. "Alara," the projection said, calmly but urgently, "your world is drifting. The harbor can realign only one timeline. If you're receiving this, then I didn't make it." Alara's chest tightened. "Take the emergency stabilizer. It's hidden in the suitcase's false bottom." The crew tore open the case, revealing a glowing sphere humming like compressed thunderstorms. "Hurry," the projection said. "If the hazard field consumes both versions, the harbor will collapse." Alara pressed the stabilizer into the ship's core panel. A shockwave of blue light erupted, slicing through the vortex. Reality peeled open like a curtain. She caught a final glimpse of the harbor, the floating carriages, the looping debris, the fragments of broken worlds, all shimmering, then dissolving. The vortex snapped shut. Everything went silent. Alara awoke on a quiet street at dawn. Her path home was normal. Cars rolled by, cyclists rang their bells, a delivery van passed. Birds chirped from above a cracked pavement. Beside her sat one suitcase, the real one. No second luggage, no cosmic itinerary, no harbor. But on her wrist was a mark of glowing light, a circle, a cycle, like the symbol of the harbor. She looked toward the sea. For a moment, she thought she saw a shimmering structure, like a cosmic harbor, fade and disappear into the morning sun. And then, it was gone. Or perhaps simply elsewhere.